So are you surviving the heat outside? It is blazing hot. Highs were in the 90s today, but we start the morning off under a lot of clouds, so that allowed temperatures to be a little bit cooler than we first anticipated. But be ready, because tomorrow we're going to see these readings skyrocket. Highs will be so in the world of meteorology, we are having to deal with heated temperature readings every single weekend, and majority of the cities across the country is dealing with it, and of course Billings, Montana is no exception. So just to go over some of the highs that were reached today: 84 degrees out in Boston today, 95 out, 80 and 81 are the magic numbers for tonight. So no doubt about it, this past weekend is definitely one of the hottest weekends we've had it all summer long, and we're going to finish it off that way. So exactly how hot was it outside? Extremely hot. 97 degrees was the high for Billings, flirting with the triple digits out in Miles City at 99 degrees, and also in Havre at 99 degrees. Everyone was in the 90s across the entire state, with the exception of Butte and Kalispell, with readings in the mid to upper 80s. So temperatures have cooled down just a little bit, not quite though. 81 degrees outside Billings, 81. So all eyes are set on the skies today to see how the weather will play out with this evening's Relay for Life event. It looks like we're holding on to mostly cloudy skies, and we're still hearing some thunder here in the Billings area, but the potential for severe activity will diminish. There is that southwesterly flow that is bringing in some stronger thunderstorms out into Sheridan and even clipping the far southeastern side of the state. So this is extreme Carbon County. We've gotten reports of half-inch-sized hail and winds that gusted up to 40 miles per hour with the strongest storms earlier this evening. Now the storm has weakened tremendously and will start to diminish as we get into the overnight hours. So things will really start to heat on up across the entire state of Montana. This is just the start of the warming trend. I'm Sharon, your weather forecaster from Color 8 News. So was it hot enough for you today? Highs today were in the mid to upper 80s, but for tomorrow we're shooting for readings. Temperatures are extremely hot, but it doesn't look like we even reached the peak for today. Now if temperatures exceed 98 degrees, which is highly possible, that means it will be the warmest it's been all year long. I know that is exciting news, but at the same time you want to be extra careful with the heat. So make sure that you are hydrated at all times and that you are wearing the sunscreen. You know the drill. Now it is 95 degrees outside Billings. The amount of moisture and instability that we have in the air will support some tornadoes to develop out to the southeast corner of the state. So there is a tornado watch in effect for tonight. It is all indicated here in the yellow shaded area, and this applies to Bighorn County and south central Montana for Carter, Custer, Fallon, and this watch will be in effect until 10 p.m. tonight. Looks like the risk is very slight, but the important information to take out of this is that there is a risk at all. So if you do live in any of these counties and you do see significant weather develop, please do take shelter. And again, simmer things down a little bit. Highs will get into the low 80s, but it looks like warm readings will take over the entire forecast. I'm not seeing 70s or definitely no 60s for at least the next 8 days. Coming the coolest at 68 degrees. So we had our dose of heated temperatures the last several days with readings well into the 90s, but we're going to take a short break with this as we get into the weekend. A cool down is in store. I would say a miniature cool down. So talk about water levels still remain high because of the drastic snow melt out in the mountains, and that has trickled on down and is still impacting the nearby creeks and rivers. So here are the latest warnings issued by the National Weather Service. In Huntley at 70 degrees. So dry air has taken over the entire region. That's because we have clear skies in the forecast for tonight, which means things will be pretty chilly. But this is good news if we're talking about flooding conditions. This will slow down the snow melting process out in the mountains. The National Weather Service has canceled out a lot of the warnings that were issued earlier last night. Saw good mix in weather today. We started the morning off under a lot of clouds, saw some rain showers and even some thunder. Let's take a look outside right now with the Party America Skycam. And we are finishing the day true Montana style. We're holding on to a lot of sunshine. This is the most sunshine we've seen all day. East of Broadus, getting closer and closer to that borderline of North Dakota and Montana. That's where we're seeing the threat for serious weather happening for tonight. And the reason why we're seeing such change in weather is because of a cold front that is pushing across the region right now. If you take a closer look here, here's the lining of the front, Glendive, Miles City, and even to Glasgow, seeing some very severe thunderstorms. 65 degrees. So before I start the weather talk for this evening, there are a few photos I like to share with you sent in by Ray Masters. So these were taken earlier this afternoon out in Beartooth Pass. It looks like the clouds just lifted up right on time to capture this gorgeous scenery. Clear skies does mean a beautiful sunset. Nice shot here, Ray, and you can just tell by this photo here that the snowpack out in the mountains almost completely gone, which is great news. If you have a weather photo you'd like to share with us, you can send it to weather@kulr.com, or you can also upload it on our Color 8 Facebook page. Now, as far as the weather goes for the rest of the evening, we're looking at a fairly